It is not good news from the White House Homeland Security Advisor. We spoke to her yesterday here in American Morning. Fran Townsend warning that Al-Qaeda wants to launch a mass casualty attack in the United States.
The question, of course, is can a reconstituted Al-Qaeda pull it off? Tom Foreman joins us now with some raw reality. Are people really worried about this?
Well, you know, here's the thing. We've heard so many warnings like this since 9/11. The White House, of course, is sounding these warnings again. They're saying you need to pay attention. Something might really happen. But we've heard this over and over and over again. And the result is, you know, people really are becoming very lukewarm about this because they've heard it so much. Look at some of the numbers here. A recent Gallup poll says only about 1 in 10 Americans believes that there is very likely going to be an attack in the near future. 31% say it's only somewhat likely, 42% say not too likely, and 16% say it's not likely at all, despite all these warnings. So, in the spirit of our upcoming YouTube debate, we sent our intrepid interns out once again to ask people what they thought the likelihood of a terrorist attack was on the United States.
I'll say a no for this summer, but I'm not sure in the future.
Every time I ride the train under Times Square, I think about it. I think this would be the perfect place. If I were a terrorist, this is where I would go. But I have no idea. I haven't talked to Osama bin Laden this summer.
Yeah, that's the problem for all of them. All of the candidates are facing a country that does not necessarily believe the war on terror is going well. Just ask them who they think is winning. 29% say we are. Half say no one is winning the war on terror. 20% say the terrorists are winning. So when YouTube debate kicks off on Monday, it's going to be awfully interesting to see if any candidate can somehow break through that and answer these questions in a way people believe, because I think the problem is it's the boy who cries wolf. Homeland Security can say they've solved a lot of these problems, and I think they really have.
And there are some people who are wondering, and these mostly come from the Democratic side, that all of this talk about terrorism and then linking it with Iraq, is this all just a very convenient way of trying to sell the Iraq war this summer?
Well, when you look at the raw politics of it, this is the thing. And look, no matter which side you're on, we know this part of the conversation is very cynical. You know, on one side you have some Republicans who whisper that Democrats, you know, well, there's some of the Democratic Party who don't want the war to go well now because they get such political advantage of it. That certainly doesn't speak of most Democrats. Neither does the converse speak true. There are some Democrats who sort of whisper, yeah, well, the White House wants to scare everybody now so that they can somehow justify the war. But people still whisper that a little bit because right now there's such a political fight over this, and the stakes are so very high.
Huge.
All right, Tom Foreman, thank you.
Good seeing you.
Well, the battle begins again. Cities and states going head-to-head over